Building an online business is simple. Yes, I said simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And there's just things that work online that, like, there's things that work in person, there's things that work online, and they have for many, many years. And we overcomplicate it, we add AI, and then we stack up all these things that we think we should be doing to grow our business. But what we really need to do is simplify and do the simple things over and over again, and they still grow businesses online. So I'm going to share with you 4 of those things that I think are like non-negotiables. One of those things I actually took a break from and didn't do, and then realized my big mistake. But I want you to set yourself up correctly if you are new to the online space, if you are a coach or a consultant, that you know your craft. Basically, you know how to do what you teach, you know how to teach what you teach, you know how to share the things, you know how to coach people. But building online seems complicated. It's because there's a lot of noise going on, and I'm going to help you to hear the soft, simple way to grow an online business. Okay, so here we go. So, one, you have to know who you're speaking to. I'm sure you've heard this. I'm sure you know you struggled with it, but you have to know who your ideal client is. And it's not just the person that will buy your thing or buy your coaching, it's the person you want to sell your coaching to. You have to know who that person is, and you have to speak their language. So if you don't know that, that's the first thing you need to do. You need to just like stop this video and go figure out who it is that you are trying to attract to you. The next thing is you want to have one primary platform, like a social platform like YouTube or LinkedIn or Instagram. This is where a lot of coaches who get online and start trying to build their business, they get hung up, me included, this happened to me too, hung up on all the areas that you can. I still struggle with this every single day. Like, no, Mona, you don't need to be on that platform. Just focus on the ones that you're primary and your secondary. So right now we're talking about primary, but in the future, I would add a secondary platform. So they need to have, guess who needs to be on this platform? Who needs to be consuming information on this platform? Your ideal client. So you want to make sure that your ideal client is consuming information on that platform, that they spend time on that platform. And you might think everyone does this on all the platforms. That could be true. It depends on your niche. It depends on what you're teaching. But you just want to make sure that you're entering into their space at some point in the day with content. And number 3 is grow an email list. I know this is one of those things that's like so far into the past. Like, aren't we done with email yet? Do you still read mail? Like, mail does come in the mail, and the physical mail does come into your mailbox. You still have to read mail. And so email is kind of the same way, only it's still more used because most people spend time on the internet and everything's done digitally. So yes, email is still used. It is different than it used to be. It is more some mail ends up in promotions tab or something like that, but you still get emails sent to you, and you still open emails and you still read emails, and that's really still a good way to communicate with your ideal client. Again, I said ideal client. Make sure that you're getting your ideal client on your email list, because you don't want just anybody on your email list. You want your ideal client. How do you get them on your email list? You create a lead magnet, which is a free resource or a low paid resource where they opt into your product or your service, and then they're on your email list. And then you have to send them emails. That is very important. You can't just gather all these people and never try to communicate with them. You need to have them on your email list and sending them emails. And the 4th one is a website. Yes, this is the one I took almost a full year off of, and I did not have a website for about a year. And that was a big mistake, because what I realized was websites are like the only thing on the internet that is ours. Like, social media platform, that's not ours. The communities that we have, those aren't ours really. I mean, they're a space that we might have, and our information is there, but the platforms themselves can decide to do whatever they want. They can decide to change everything up, and then we've lost our connection, right? So we want the email list first, then the website, because The website is where they can go if one of those social platforms goes down. They know where to reach you, and they have a place to reach you. Now, I don't think websites are the same anymore. I think people are shifting the way they are consuming online, and websites need to change with it, which I have. If you saw my past videos, and I'll share them if you haven't, I've created a new type of website called the Shelly site that helps you to. It's compact. It works on mobile. It's more conversational, and it's just like a really good way for people to get to know who you are and what you do, but not be overwhelmed by too much information. So I'll share a link in the description for that if you want to check that out. And there's also a video that I'll share, a video link I'll share as well. So having a website is a way for you to be taken seriously. Now, you might have a website and it's outdated. That's still not as good as having an up-to-date website. So you want to make sure that it's updated and that it looks to the standards of websites today. That's what changes over time. It's not the need for the website, it's more of the standards that have been changing. And that's what I've noticed in the last few months, and it was why I created Shelly sites. But think of having a website like having, going to work in your pajamas versus a suit. You're going to be taken more seriously if you go to work in a suit than if you go to work in pajamas. So that's kind of the way a website is for you. If you are going to present yourself to the world, you want them to know that you're serious about your business and that you take every part of it seriously. So that's the 4 things. Okay, I hope that was helpful. It was a quick little video. I just wanted to make sure that if you're new to the online space, that you're doing these things. And if you do these things over and over again and build your business in this way, like you don't have to create a website over and over again, but if you just keep that up to date and professional, then you will stand out in this world, because a lot of people have abandoned those things and have not been using those things that still work today. And they're losing out on building the right type of business online if you're not doing these things. And there's of course more things that you could be doing, but for right now we're keeping it simple. So go out there and do these 4 steps and you will be better off. Okay, subscribe to my channel if you like this content, and I will see you on the next video.